shit. I don't know why my internet's being sloppy. What's good? I'm good. How you guys doing? Yeah, I'm supposed to pull up and you guys. John keeps hitting me up. I was gonna go out the other night and you guys had a Halloween party or whatever, but I fucking fell asleep. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm better. I'm riding again. I'm walking again. The swelling's pretty much all gone down. You can't really see it. It's like the teeniest little bump right here. And it's like kind of nummy kind of feeling or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty much all gone. It took, 7 months? 6 months? Get better. I couldn't walk for the first 2 months. That sucked. Yeah, that was definitely rough. No, my leg's doing better. I'm riding. I'm moving again. I can walk. It pretty much doesn't hurt. Like when I touch it, it's kind of got it's a little tender if I push on it, and it's like just slightly still like a little bit of a bump, but pretty much all the swelling's gone down and everything. So. But yeah, that was scary. That was definitely, I grew up riding BMX bikes and dirt bikes and four-wheelers and motorcycles, and, I've gotten broke off plenty of times before, but that one hurt. I've torn my ACL, I've broken bones, but that one really hurt. That one was rough. And it kept me in the hospital for a week. I had internal bleeding. No, the Banshee. Yeah, it was a road rage situation. Sorry, I'm just cutting in and out of that service here. Yeah, it was a road rage situation. It was the middle of the day. I pulled up to I was going, and I remember passing the guy a while back or whatever, but I was just in my own lane, just chilling. There wasn't any cars around me, and I pull up to the light, and then I'm just waiting at a red light, and then a car comes up from behind me, and gets super close to my motorcycle, super close, and just starts beeping, honking. I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. I was looking around, and I look, and the guy was in the SUV, like a Range Rover, and he was. I could see him flailing his arms all around, yelling and shit. I had no idea what was going on, and then he just drove forward into my bike, but he pushed me. My bike didn't fall because he was super close, so he kind of just pushed me forward, and I stumbled. I didn't drop the bike, and then I put my bike a little bit to the side and got off my bike, and I was looking at the back of my bike as he fucked the light up and the back fender and the bag a little bit, not much damage or anything, but and I was you just rear-ended me. I look at the guy, and I'm you just rear-ended me, and then he, I'm in front of him, and then he just hits the gas, and I was on my feet. I was walking towards his SUV, yo, you just hit me, give me your information type shit, and he just hit the gas and just fucking hit me with his car, dragged me through the intersection. I fell off an eighth or a quarter of a mile down the road. I fell off the car, hit the ground. He was probably doing 50, 60 miles an hour. And then, that was it. I still work. I never worked for Grade A. And then, it hurt, but I had adrenaline going. It didn't hurt that like at first, like it took a little while. After like a couple hours, then the pain like really set in, and like the swelling, my legs swelled up really bad. Then I couldn't walk anymore and stuff. And I went to the hospital, and yeah, like I even going to the hospital, it was like one of those things. Like it's never been like I've never, I was like motorcycle accident. They ran out, put me on a bed, put me in like a room. There was like 10 people in the room. And they're like cut my table, fucking. They gave me like fucking fentanyl and morphine and shit like that. Yeah, and then like I had to go in for MRI and stuff like that, and then they had to drain it and drain the blood out of my fucking leg and shit like that. And it was really, most of it was really just like I couldn't walk, and pain management. It was like hard. They basically had me fucking doped up on morphine for the week. It was coming every couple of hours and fucking give me something in my IV. I was just laying there pretty much. And then after a week, I came home. I still couldn't walk. But then I got on a walker, and I was using a walker to get around, and then I went from a walker to a cane, and then that was it. Still on Sunset? Like living? I never lived on Sunset. I lived in Hollywood, but not on Sunset. But no, I live in the Valley. I live right near where I used to live with Juice. I live like fucking 5 minutes away, not even. I just dropped a Juice video 3 days ago. Relax. At Mel's? I like Mel's. Mel's is the least favorite of the diners out here that I go to. Mel's is alright, but I feel like Mel's is a little overrated. A little swingers or Bernie's. Yeah, Murder Rate. It's funny because I just found that one. That was number 5, right? Like I said, I'm gonna post all the murder rates, but I think that might be it. Yeah, I don't know if there are any more murder rates because that one I just randomly stumbled across the other day. That wasn't one I had lined up, so that's why I'm like, oh, okay. So there could be one or two more I haven't seen. Because there was one he did on live, I know that. But I'll take them all. Eventually, I'll just take them all and put them on one video. So I'll still leave the separate videos up. I'll put them all together and then have one big long murder rate. Freestyle after freestyle. The Atlas alien ship. That's like, it looked like a fucking galaxy, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, whatever. There's still a tight friend group? Yeah, well, I mean, I got Max. and I have some friends. It's hard because as you get older and you don't live, like my childhood friends all live back home in Massachusetts, and as everybody gets older, everybody starts to have kids and gets married and stuff like that, So, and Gabe just had a kid, but Gabe still super tight friend. He was just here. I spent like 2 weeks with him. But like Gabe calls me, you know what I mean? Like me and Gabe have a FaceTime. We talk on the FaceTime for like 2 hours, and we do that like every couple of weeks. Usually, we have like a phone call. And Max, Max is one of my best friends. He was just in Europe, so I haven't really seen him. I went by over to the studio earlier to see if he was there to hang out with him, but he wasn't there. That's too. I didn't call him. I was just like, oh, maybe he's at the studio. And well, I did. I checked his location, and he was at the studio, but that was on this phone, and I didn't take that phone with me, so he might have left. But either way, I was out. I had to go do an errand, and then I went by to go see him. He wasn't there, but yeah, he was in Europe for a few weeks, so I haven't really seen Max. But yeah, Max is, when you get older, shit's just that's just how it is. People have shit going on. No, I only need glasses for like reading and like the phone. Like, I can't see. Like it's I'm getting old, but even just like comments, like I can't see that. Right now I can, but if I'm on my phone for a couple hours, I can't see the words anymore. Everything just blurs together. So these are a low prescription, but I just need it for reading and focusing on the computer and the phone screen. I have blue light glasses. No, these are actual prescription. They're just a low. There's just a low prescription, But they're real glasses. They just need them for focusing. I don't need them for like. I can see far away fine. Link when you're in LA. How often you come to LA? Okay, I see people asking about Juice WRLD studio sessions and this and that. Have I ever answered any of these questions ever? Or do I constantly ignore them? When somebody asks me if I have a session, do I do anything? Do I ever respond? Do I post it? Are you ever going to get anything out of me? No. So there's no bother asking. I just posted something. Go on YouTube and watch the videos there. And next time I post a video, you can just go watch it on YouTube, and that's it. You don't need to ask me. I gotta do YouTube lives again. I was just talking about that earlier today, actually. The bike's good. I'm trying to get. I've done some stuff to it. I'm waiting for different bags to come different side bags. I have the hard ones that came with the bike, but I'm getting like these canvas ones. And then I am waiting for my cartridges for the front suspension and longer tubes. And then I'm gonna do a cam and a throttle body and take it to the dyno and get it tuned. And that's it. That's kind of pretty much I mean, there might be some other stuff I'll do along the way, but that's like pretty much all I really want to do. Done the back suspension. My exhaust just got shipped out, so I've been waiting for that for like months, but you know, whatever, that's fine because it's free. So, but yeah, I got the suspension. They finally sent me that, so I did the rear shock. I did the brakes. I got hooked up with brakes, so I did the rotors. I got hooked up with the crash bar, so all that stuff's on. I just put on a steering dampener the other day. I'm waiting for the cartridges for the front forks and the longer fork tubes, and then I'm just gonna do that motor stuff and tune it, and that's pretty much it. I'm waiting for like new handlebars and risers. The company's gonna hook me up with some stuff, but the ones I have are good, but another company's gonna hook me up, so I'll change them out. And yeah, and the bags. Once that stuff cuts in, I was trying to get this stuff done at the beginning of November, but it might not be till the middle of November after I get the parts and get it tuned. But I was thinking about doing a cross-country trip, riding the motorcycle to Boston and back. So if I can get the suspension stuff, the bags, and the cam, and get everything tuned early enough in November, I might do that. I might ride to Boston and ride back, but I don't want to. I can't wait too long because it gets cold and it starts to snow in places. So. Do we have any ATVs? No, I mean, we have the Banshee still, but we gave the Raptor and the 400 to, they took them to Chicago. I don't know what they did with them. They were supposed to put them on display at Juice WRLD Day or something like that. That was like 4 years ago. But, yeah, I don't know. Who's weird? Halloween plans? No, I don't. Usually, Usually on Halloween, I end up getting a job. Honestly, Halloween's like a big thing. I usually, I don't have a job lined up right now, but I don't think I did last year, and I think I got something last minute. I can't remember. But yeah, I feel like Halloween, I usually end up getting a job to do, but I don't know. I don't have anything planned right now. My favorite bike riding memory? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I have a lot of good memories. I have a lot of good riding memories. I mean, I've been riding not just my motorcycle, my BMX, but I got memories of me and my little brother riding when we were younger. Me and my friends growing up. Teaching Juice how to ride, teaching Scheme how to ride. When am I watching 90 Day Fiancé? This is a new season I haven't watched yet. I just watched the new episode that was on Sunday. I just had to catch up on it. What age did I start riding? Very young. I think I got my first four-wheeler, like ATV, gas-powered one, when I was probably like 8. Do I plan on being any artist? I mean, whenever a job comes up, I I don't think I'm gonna be someone's. I don't really have the aspirations to be someone's full-time camera person like I was with Juice. But jobs come and go. Like, I don't know, Trippy just hit me up again a couple months ago, and he said, after he drops his next album and he goes on tour, he said go on tour with him. So just shit like that. Just whatever jobs come up, I'll take. Depending on what the job is. And Ski asked me to go on tour last year a couple times, and I didn't want to go. Tour's a lot. Not really. Yeah, tour's a lot. I've been touring my whole life. I mean, basically, BMX, that was touring. It was a lot more low budget. We're in a van staying at shitty hotel rooms, but we're, zigzagging across the country all year long. And then when I started doing music stuff, it just, same thing. It just got better accommodations, nicer bus and nicer hotel rooms. So I've been doing it a long time, So I just don't like, I don't like the bus, honestly. I get anxiety in those little fucking coffins that you fucking sleep in. But yeah, whatever artist. I mean, whenever Ski's around, I usually am doing stuff. I've known Ski longer than I've known Juice, so I've known Trippy longer than I've known Juice. But yeah, whatever. Just Skiing was just here for 2 weeks. That was a job. I was hanging out with him, but he's working on his album, so I'm also filming. So I obviously charge money for that. I don't know. I mean, Ski is doing that little tour right now. It's a small one. And I think that's it. I haven't heard anything about him going over to Europe. Last time I went to Europe, he was with the Suicide Boys, so I don't know. Ever thought about being a streamer's cameraman? No. I have no. I mean, maybe for a day or two or whatever if they're paying, but I don't have any aspirations to do that. Why is my fucking internet popping in and out? It's so annoying. No. Yeah. Like the stuff with rappers, like with Juice and stuff, it was a little more meaningful. I'm filming an artist doing something. you know, with Juice, like even Scheme, you know, filming Scheme work on his album. So like in the end, last time when, you know, in 2023 when Ski was working on 11th Dimension, I was in the studio with him for that. That was, you know, filming him in the process of his album being made, you know, it's not just nonsense. But also, you know, money's money, so whatever. But I don't want to be fucking stuck following a streamer around, that's for sure. I'd rather produce stuff that's a little more meaningful. But I got all sorts of fucking different jobs. You know, I was fucking shooting photos of girls at the strip club for their social media and shit like that, you know? I was doing the social media stuff for a rehab facility. So, you know, whatever comes. I have all sorts of fucking weird jobs that pop up now and again. I don't know how to do it, but I would like to shoot behind the scenes of like a movie or a TV show. I've been trying to get pushed to get in that direction. I just don't really know anybody directly that can put me in that position yet, but I'll figure it out. How would I recommend someone getting started in my line of work? Well, just, you know, I just wanted to, you know, work at my own pace and do my own thing, do documentary filmmaking. But I got started because of my BMX bike. I just wanted to ride my bike with my friends for the rest of my life. I didn't want to fucking work. I wanted to hang out with my friends and go riding. And I wasn't good enough to become a pro BMX rider. But I found, you know, I liked going out and filming my friends growing up and stuff. And I figured out like, oh, well, I can still basically be a pro BMX rider without being that good because I can just be a filmer, and, you know. And it was super early on too. Like I was the first person in like BMX as like a freelance filmer that had like an HD camera and shit, you know. I just started doing that, and I just, you know, it's the same thing like with music artists. I'm in the Boston area. There were no like just filmers like me really, so I was the go-to guy in like all of New England. So whatever pro riders, there was a couple pro riders from like New Hampshire and stuff and Massachusetts. When they needed to work on a video, they'd hit me up. So they're like, oh, I'm riding for this frame company, I need to make a video. And then someone else is working, got on this shoe brand, you know, so I'm making a video for him for Osiris Shoes, and video for this guy for his frame company. And then there's like Vital BMX and like Ride BMX, different like blogs that, you know, whatever rider, I just make a video with this whatever kid that's pretty good, and I sell it to them. So I was freelancing super early on, making money, riding my bike. And that's all I ever wanted to do. I just wanted to ride my bike with my friends and hang out and take pictures. So I did go to school. I went to the New England Institute of Art for documentary filmmaking. And I did some stuff too. I worked on some documentaries, some like about drugs in Cape Cod, and some rehab stuff. I worked for a bunch of rehab facilities, honestly. I used to get a lot of Red Bull jobs. So that was, you know, those were good jobs. Those were well-paying jobs. You know, that'd be a weekend and you'd make like $5,000. I moved to California, and I was working for a BMX company. I was working for two BMX companies as the team manager. And basically, I was in charge of like taking the team on trips, updating the website, filming, photography, kind of just like I was like whatever, the 6 to 10 guys that were on the pro and amateur team of that BMX company. I was in charge of, when they dropped videos, getting content for them, making overall videos, taking them on trips, going to X Games, all that shit. And then, just being in LA, and then how whatever happened, it happened because of No Jumper, you know what I mean? So, like, we started the podcast, but we started the podcast as a BMX podcast, and then kind of over the course of a couple years, interviewing a bunch of random people, kind of turned into rappers, and then I was around rappers, and that's kind of how I got into the music thing. I didn't really set out to be a photographer for musicians or rappers or anything in particular. That's just the way the wind took me. Yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, I'm definitely blessed, and I've got to do a lot of crazy things. My camera has taken me to some crazy places, I can tell you that. I mean, you guys all know me from Juice and shit like that, but I was pretty popular back in the day for BMX. We went to I got to judge the fucking Chinese X Games. I got to go to China and shit. All because of my camera. I got to tour the country several times before I ever did it with musicians, And honestly, more fun doing it BMX. Even though big artists like Juice or whatever, it's like, yeah, we get the nice bus and fucking 5-star hotel and room service. But with BMX, it's like you're with fucking 10 ratty, smelly dudes in a fucking 16-passenger van, fucking sharing beds in fucking like Econo Lodge, fucking shitty hotel rooms with fucking people on the floor, people fucking sharing beds and shit. But we just wake up, fucking ride our bikes, and we just had, you get to explore. It'd be like wherever we are. Let's say we fucking took a trip and we got to LA, and we just ride our bikes around LA and explore and get to, when you're on tour with a musician, it's like you're on the bus, you go to the venue, you're at the venue, you do your thing, get in the bus and leave. Like, you don't get to like see the fucking places that you're at. When it was BMX, you got to like really just immerse yourself into that fucking place that you're in and get to see everything. You ride your bike around, fucking meeting people on the street, you fucking just learning, seeing things. Oh, it's cool. But to get into it, you just go with the flow, but you gotta obviously just get out and shoot. Just go out and shoot everything. Learn how to fucking film good. Make videos. If you have ideas of stupid little things, do it. You know what I mean? If you have like, I want to make this little fucking short film or this, like, just go out and film stuff, make stuff, try different things. If it's music, start going to venues and seeing if venues will fucking let you shoot shows. If you see shows coming, hit up artists like managers and stuff and see if you can shoot their show. It's obviously better to start with smaller artists that don't really have much going on, so they're just like, yeah, cool. You got to do shit for free. I've done a lot of shit for free to get to where I'm at. More videos like the skiing vlog. Yeah, I know. That's just it's just when I do shit, I don't go out. That's the problem. Have I owned a Kawasaki? Yeah, I have a Kawasaki. I have a 110. I always drop juice videos. Just go to my YouTube page and put on notifications. Whenever I drop something, then you're good. Back. What did you say? Juice as a person? Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's obviously cool when you can make friends with someone you're working with, you know? So, Juice was a good person. He was a good friend. It was fun. Can you put a wrap on a bike or a car? Yeah, I think so. Like on my motorcycle, for sure. Leg and hips doing better. Matt is he's the assigned sassy bitch in the comments. It's his job. Shot my first venue. Do you think there's an etiquette to posting those videos? Would it be disrespectful to post the videos of the set without their permission? Okay. Yeah, that just depends on the artist and who it is. If you have a contract signed or not. Basically, you just don't want to piss anyone off. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to piss someone off because you want them to hopefully hire you again and stuff like that. So that's like, if you think it's going to be a problem, then don't do it. Or, just reach out and ask. Be like, yo, I got these. Can I post them? Yeah, just communicate, If you don't have a contract signed, technically you own it, you know what I mean? So you can't do whatever you want with those photos. They're your property, you shot the photos, but just, keep it, you want to keep it good with people. You want them to want to hire you again, you want to leave a good impression. So it's better just to reach out and ask if it's okay to post. Or not, or tell them you have the photos, you can give them to them, you guys can post them, I'll wait for you to, sometimes they want to post them first or whatever, but yeah, just ask. And always, money wise, you should probably ask for money first, but sometimes you can be like, yeah, I have all these, I'll do this for this much money or whatever. Or if you just want to do it for, like I said, I've done a lot of stuff for free just to get my foot in the door, so you just gotta figure out what's going to be worth it and what isn't going to be worth it. Do I lane split? Yes, I do. Do I talk to Allie? No, I do not. What I injure exactly? I had internal bleeding and I got a giant hematoma in my hip/leg. They're still film, yes. I actually, a couple months ago, I went in the studio and I filmed with Dave Blunt's a session. I just never edited that vlog. Now that I got this kid Nico working for me, he has that footage. So once we get caught up on some stuff, maybe I might edit that. He's editing, like right now I have 3 like part install videos that I had to make, which is like, they're not going to get a lot of views, and you guys don't care. I had to make that stuff for the, I get sponsors for my motorcycle, so that's part of the deal, is that I make those videos. Thoughts on Juice not being on top 200? I don't know. Who care less? Thoughts on Ali? I haven't heard anything from Ali in years. I have no idea what is going on. My first intern job. I don't think I've ever had an intern job. Like I said, I was doing this BMX. I was working for myself early on. I was freelancing in fucking 2007, making money off BMX stuff. So I kind of just grew up with my camera, and then just went right into like making money. And I did go to school, but I was already, I went to school, like film school, but it's like I was already making money filming by the time I went to film school. It was just like, oh, I can also go to school for this, and I thought it was going to help me. I mean, it definitely helped me. I liked school a lot, and it definitely helped. I met a lot of people. It's like, but you can learn everything nowadays just by going out and kind of getting experience in YouTube college. But school was good. It taught me a lot of like, because you learn from people that are actually on the job, filmed real movies, filmed real documentaries and stuff. What's my favorite part of the job? Filming. I love taking photos. I love when I just take a photo I like and I just look fucking staring at it and just, and I just, when I like when I take the photo, like when I take a lot of photos. I don't always like them, but when I like it, I'm like, it feels good to like look at something and be like, damn, I really like the way this came out. I took this photo. Tattooed Olivia. She did this one a couple months ago. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's like the little fucking stick figures. Where did I grow up? I grew up Boston area. I'm pretty much recovered, yeah. I'm still slightly swollen, but I mean, it doesn't bother me. I'm fully back to riding and stuff. If I push on it, it hurts a little bit, but like, you know, that's... What is my favorite tattoo? This one. Let me see it. The juice picture, because I was at the studio, I'm at home. Stop asking me about juice footage. If you want juice footage, just turn the notifications on. When I post on YouTube, you'll know. Dream bike. I kind of have my dream bike. I like what I have. My cool Trippy, yeah, he hit me up probably like 2 months ago now. We talked on FaceTime for like 2 hours. He let me listen to all his new music and stuff. He said I should go on tour with him, and he tours again. Because why are you asking me about juice footage? Your life. I don't know what you're gonna ask me. When have I ever answered questions about it? When have I ever been like, okay, yeah, I'll do that because you asked me to? Never. I post stuff when I post it. You know I'm gonna post something, so just turn your notifications on, and then when it gets posted, you'll see it. Talking about juice constantly is fucking draining. Why am I so mean? Don't be a pussy. Chillin'. My bike now, I don't stunt it at all. I've done a couple wheelies on it, but it's my daily driver, so um, I would like to get another Dyna, and just that way I could have a stunt bike and a daily. So, yeah, maybe eventually, you know, it'd be nice to have a Dyna to stunt, and this one I'm building more to like, I mean, I'm not building it to go super fast. I'm gonna do some stuff to make it faster, but it's my daily driver, so I can't go too crazy. But I'm doing some pretty good suspension work, you know, so I can at least go rip the canyons and stuff like that. That's what I like to do. I like to go fast in the corners. Ducatis are cool. I like Ducatis. I mean, I like all bikes, honestly. I'm not one of those people that are like fucking, like, you know, some dudes ride street bikes and like, oh, fucking Harley dudes are gay. And then some dudes like fucking street bikes are gay. I'm like, I like bikes. I like all bikes. It doesn't matter. How many horsepower? This bike probably has like 105 maybe. It's not a ton. I'll probably do the stuff to it, and I'll probably say, I don't know, 120 to 130 horsepower in it, which is, you know, this bike's nice though. This bike it's fast. It's got a 117 on it. It's the biggest motor that I've had in any of my Harleys. My other one had a 107, and the one before that had an 88, which I built to a 100-inch But I fucking blew the 100-inch up in like fucking a month. So, I've ridden tracks, but I never motocrossed. My little brother, raced motocross for a few years. We were too poor for me to do motocross. And then by the time my brother was old enough, and I think my mom was making a little bit more money, so. And I think my dad was back in the picture at that time, so he bought bikes for him. But that only lasted a few years. The same thing happened. Eventually my dad was gone again, but my mom, I think, just didn't have the money to do it anymore. Because she had to have a truck. We had to have like a fucking 15-foot enclosed trailer. We have to fucking, drive to the races, fucking camp out in the trailer at the fucking races. So it's all weekend long. It's a lot. Rebuild your motor after every fucking weekend. How many siblings do I have? I just have one younger brother. Shooting car shows and photography last year. Yeah, just go and shoot. Learning photography is learning all around, not just one thing, For a while I was going out and I was shooting like long exposure night shots of like the city. I got some really long lenses. I was shooting like the stars and the moon. I'd go out and shoot street photography, just like fucking Skid Row and shit during the day. I was shooting BMX stuff. You gotta do all the different types and learn the camera, learn how to use a camera, learn how to use manual settings. My brother, he was pro BMX rider for a while, and now he's just off the grid. I record on a camcorder? Yeah. I've had, when I first started filming, it was like camcorder cameras is what we used. I started playing with cameras when I was pretty young. It was my first major video gig, probably a Red Bull job. That was probably back in like 2007, 2006, 8. I think in college, around the same time, I worked on a documentary that was on like PBS. If they needed something, he would hit me up. you know, or same vice versa, or if I see them, you know. That's how it is with most people. It's just when you see them, you talk to them, whatever. Ever video a skater? Yeah. I mean, doing BMX, it's basically the same type of filming, you know, so. What documentary? It was a documentary about fucking drug use in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, so.